Would you like your effort of consistently posting content to yield results? I'm talking about programs being sold, clients being enrolled, and attracting opportunities like collaboration and speaking engagements. Maybe you feel like you're circling the middle of the mountain without ever reaching the peak. That is because it is not consistency that yields results. It is the delivery of your message. And in order to effectively deliver a message in the marketplace, you must first identify your edge. Now, an edge is the aspect of your message that cuts through the noise. There is an aspect of your message that rings in your audience's ears and sings in their heart, and it pulls them in to buy from you because they feel seen, heard, and understood. There is something that your audience is going through right now that is top of mind for them, the thing that they're searching online for, the thing that keeps them up at night wondering, when will I finally get over this? When your message intersects not only their logical thinking, but their emotional part of looking for this answer, that is when they're going to feel compelled to buy. And not just compelled to buy, but compelled to buy from you. Because your message is now positioned as something that they need to pay attention to because you're speaking to directly what's top of mind for them. So if you have already identified your edge in the marketplace and you're consistent with it, now we have to go through the refinement process of making sure your delivery is on point. So you might be wondering, why is my delivery not on point? What is it about delivery and what exactly is delivery? I want you to think about this as a packaging, for example. So let's say I were to give you a gift and this gift was wrapped in newspaper. Let's say I was able to give you the exact same gift. Now this gift is wrapped in white crisp paper with a gold bow. Now the same thing is inside, but you don't know that the same gift is inside. Which one would you pick? Guaranteed you're going to pick the white paper with the gold bow, the crisp white paper with the gold bow. Why? Because it has a better appeal. It has a better delivery. It has a better packaging. And so this is what it means to have good delivery. So some of the reasons why I see people not having good delivery of their message in the marketplace is because you're too concerned with what people might think about you. You're still worried about rejection. You're attempting to hold up an image in the marketplace of what you need others to see you as. There's some insecurity within yourself that you are still hiding. And so now your message in the marketplace is showing up to try to get people to believe something about you that you just don't believe about yourself just yet. So you lack that deep inherent belief and conviction about what it is you're really bringing into the marketplace. So now when you create your content, whether it's written or on video, you are protecting yourself. So that means your delivery isn't as compelling as it can be because it is all about you. Your delivery is about making sure you look good instead of making sure that your audience feels seen, heard, and understood. So when it comes to having effective delivery, you want your message to be authentic to your audience's future, not authentic to your current fears. And this is something I see a lot. Too many people are worried about what they look like to other people. They're worried about the judgment that might come from peers. And maybe you have beliefs that you're not really sure why you believe them. Maybe you don't even have yet a clear process of how you help your clients get results. These are all of the things that I help my clients do inside of my program, Content Legacy. We identify your edge, and then we go through the refinement process to ensure that you have effective delivery. Because as you can see, being really consistent with poor delivery is not yielding results. You end up wasting a lot of time and circling the middle of the mountain without ever reaching the peak and getting results. So you want to shed those layers off. You want to shed the layer off of judgment and fear and the doubt that's creeping in the back of your mind. And you do that by developing a framework for how you actually take your audience through getting results. How do you facilitate the results that you get? It's through building that framework that you deepen your belief and you deepen your conviction. So when it comes to the delivery of your message, you've got to have a way that you let your audience know that you can help them get from here to here, where they are to where they want to go. And right now, you're probably creating a lot of content that is just protecting yourself. You're hiding. So you might be saying what you want to say, but you're not saying it how you want to say it. And if you're not saying it how you want to say it, that means that you automatically have a filter up with how you're showing up online. And that means that your audience can't actually hear you. They can't hear you, nor can they feel you. There is a sensation that comes through the screen when someone is really genuine and really authentic with their message, and they are so for their audience. They're not trying to hide and cover up all of their insecurities. They're for their audience. There is a sensation that happens through the screen because you can feel that person's passion for their audience, not feel the passion for themselves and trying to make themselves look good. And I'm not saying that you're not being genuine or disingenuine on purpose, or you're not being not authentic on purpose. What I am saying, though, is that there is a fear, there is a potential guilt, or maybe even some shame that's hidden behind that, and you're authentic to your fear. You're not being authentic to your audience's current desire. This is so key because you end up putting out a watered down message. There are so many different ways to say, I'm sorry. You can say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There's so many different ways you can say it. My delivery of that all means something different. One of it sounds authentic. One of it sounds like I'm really sorry. One of it sounds like, yeah, I don't believe you at all. That is exactly how your audience is receiving you. So the moment that you have a worry that you're trying to cover up, or a fear or a doubt, or you don't have a clear process for how you deliver results, is the moment that that filter goes up and your delivery gets all wonky. This also comes down to, is your personality showing up through your content? Can people hear you and feel what the real you is like? Are you saying quirky jokes as you say something? Do you have a tagline or a phrase that you consistently say that maybe you're holding back from saying because you think others might think it's dumb? We're living in a time right now where being bold is really attractive, but you want to make sure that you're being bold and authentic to your audience's desires, and being bold and authentic to just your genuine true self and not the fear part of you. This is really essential because there is a fine tuning that your audience now has online after scrolling and watching hundreds of millions of people on video and reels and all kinds of stuff. They are really tuned in to what their ears resonates to or not. And so in order to resonate with their ears, that means your voice and your tone has to have a delivery that sounds real to them, because it is real. One of my cross checks that I love is when I ask some of my friends to watch my video. I'm like, are you gathering me? Is that my real personality coming through on video? Is that how I am behind the scenes? Is that how I might be with you if we're having a conversation? Not to say that, I'm coming on here and like being friends. We are friends. I totally think you guys are my friends, but it's more so saying that it's not a lax conversation. I'm postured up because I want to deliver this message and I want you to know how important it is for you to understand this. But when I ask my friends, is my personality coming through? I've had some people tell me yes in a lot of my older videos, and some people who really, really know me and have spent a lot of time, they say, no, it's not me. And I say, okay, tell me what is not coming out. And they say, you're too serious. And I'm a really goofy, I'm funny. I think my friends think I'm funny too. And sometimes that doesn't come out on video because I take what I do so seriously. I take my ability to help and facilitate results seriously. But I also can sometimes do that to a detriment of my personality coming through. And I realize sometimes that as I'm delivering this, that I make sure that I'm just keeping it real. You guys know I don't edit any of my videos. So any stumbles or stutters or quirks or jokes that come out, they just come out. That's just how it is. If I forget my next line, if I lose my train of thought, if I blank out for a second, you guys will see all of that because I don't hide any of it. I don't have anything to hide. However, I did have on in my earlier videos, I did have on this, I take this so seriously and I really want you all to get it, that I'm serious and I'm rigid about it. But the truth of the matter is, I have a lot of fun with this stuff. I have a lot of fun with my clients. And the things I talk about, the way that I talk about them, we have a lot of fun. But sometimes people are not always capturing that from this video. So when I cross-reference with my friends, they were like, no, your personality is not really showing up. This is actually why I started standing up in my videos. And some of you have actually noticed. I used to sit down, but now I stand up because now I'm more entertaining to all of you, but I'm also just more entertained myself because I'm having more fun in standing up. So as you're creating your own content in your delivery, what makes you feel like you? And ask your friends for their feedback. And don't just ask anybody. Ask the people who really know you, the people who actually also want you to win, not just the people that you think are cheering for you, but, you know, not wanting you to win behind your back. That's a whole different story. But go to the people who you know genuinely want you to win. Go to the people who really know who you are and what your personality is really like, and ask them and say, hey, can you watch this? And so now I've made those, changes. And those changes that I've made, the feedback is very different. And I'm just keeping it 100 because that is what iteration of delivery of your message is like, because your substance might be really good. But if the delivery of that substance isn't the best, then people are going to pass it on by. So just think newspaper versus white paper with a crisp bow. So your content must hold your audience accountable. This is the other part of delivery. Your content must hold your audience accountable. If you have an issue with accountability, because there's an area in your life where you're hiding, an area of your life where you're not taking your own steps, where you're not truly leading yourself. If you have an area like that, that means that there is some discomfort within you on holding yourself accountable. That means that to really deliver something how you want to deliver it online might not come across because you have trouble holding the tension of accountability. Hear me out when I say this. You have trouble holding the tension of accountability. What I mean by that is, if you have to say something the way you truly want to say it, it might make some people mad. You're not trying to make anybody mad. You don't want to make anybody upset. You're not trying to trigger anyone. However, when you're speaking the truth about something and you're holding someone accountable, you're naturally going to make people upset. You're naturally going to press against their beliefs, which means you're naturally going to make some people defensive and push your message away. Those aren't your people. But you're afraid of holding that level of tension in the marketplace because you're afraid of that rejection. You're afraid of people saying they don't like your message, or that's stupid, or that's not how I do it. There's a million and one ways to skin a cat. So you have to stand boldly on your process and your method and your facilitation of helping your clients get results. And when you can do that, that means that you're able to hold them in the tension of accountability. So take a look in your own life. Is there an area right now where you just aren't really holding yourself accountable? Where you keep saying you want to do this thing, but then you don't do it? Where you say that I'm working on this, but then you're not really working on it, or you're not really giving your all, but then you're coming online wanting to hold people to a high standard. Well, you can't really do that. You're going to end up shrinking because you're not doing that in your real life. You're not doing that in a way that you're truly leading yourself. So it's hard to lead other people if you're not leading yourself. You first got to lead you. That's how this game works. You first have to lead you. And when you can do that, then you're more comfortable in holding the tension. This is what it means to be a speaker. This is what it means to create content and be on video. You have to be willing to hold the tension. I have to be willing to say things that are going to make some of y'all upset. I'm going to have to say things that are going to make you guys move to take the action. But I can only comfortably say things because behind the scenes, I'm doing that for myself. It's really difficult to try to tell others to do something that you're not doing. Y'all are going to feel what that disconnect is like. You're going to be like, there's something about that person that just ain't really singing true. You're going to be able to feel that. So take a look at these aspects of your message when it comes to your delivery. Are you holding back? Are you holding any shame or guilt? Are you holding yourself accountable? Do you have difficulty holding the tension because you don't like how that feels? So now you got to hide inside of your message. You're worried about what others might say or think. You're worried about being canceled or whatever the case might be. But when you see you the way God sees you, when you understand your assignment on this planet and you understand that God has given you a gift and an ability, He's tuning your voice while He's tuning your audience's ears. And He is going to match your voice to their ears in the marketplace. But that is only done when you start shedding those layers and you start living like you're leading yourself and you're living your own life and leading your own life, and you're holding the tension and accountability of what your audience is desiring. So that means you're being authentic to their future desire, not your current fear. So this is how you improve your delivery, is you start to shed and take away all of the things that have put a filter, not just on what you want to say, but how you want to say it. If you want help with your message, whether it's identifying your edge or the delivery or just creating your own content engine so you have consistent leads and clients filling into your programs, I will put a link down below to apply to work together inside my Content Legacy program or potentially one-on-one. And I will see you all in another video. Bye.